Hello and welcome to our show this morning. My name is Dapo Aruwajoye. You all may remember the fatal container truck accident that claimed 4 lives at Ojuelegba of recent in Lagos. This has brought to the fore the need to enforce this section 2(1) subsection 2 of the Lagos State Road Traffic Law. You see, the law restricts the movement of trucks except petrol tankers and passenger trucks movement within the Lagos metropolis from between the hours of 6 o'clock in the morning until 9 p.m. in the evening. But this is not going down well with some truck operators. This has led to a confrontation between the truck operators and the Lagos State government. The Association of Maritime Truck Owners is protesting by embarking on an indefinite strike, which has led to congestion at the seaports in Lagos. So today we'll try and look at how do we resolve this issue, as government definitely is expected to protect the lives and properties of the people in the state, and also the government has to guarantee the rights of the people to carry out their businesses. And you know, the government has to make money also within the law. So that's the thrust of our discussion today. And to do this, I have the chairman, Association of Maritime Truck Owners. We're talking about Chief Remi Ogungbemi in the house. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Happy day, viewers.
Thank you very much. And also I have Honorable Setonji David. He's a member at Lagos House of Assembly and is representing Badagry constituency. Two, right? Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable, for being part of the program also. Good morning. Let me start with you, Honorable, before I go to why is it that the truck owners or the truck drivers are not complying with this law. But for the benefit of people listening to us, let us get this Lagos traffic law. Let's know about this Lagos traffic law, section 2, subsection 1, 2, I guess, yeah. So let's get to, is it now that the law came into existence? And why is it that is now that you, as a lawmaker and your colleagues sat of recent, I think it was this week again that you reviewed this law. So why is it, was it yesterday or last week or when?
Thank you very much. Okay. This law has been in existence. It was promulgated in year 2012, and it's been there. What's unfortunate about our system is that we have laws, but we don't enforce the laws. The problem we have is regulation, is enforcement of law. It's not a new law. And the essence of this law is essentially to protect life and property. You know, Lagos, I think that is, I mean, the total area of Lagos is less than 4,000 square kilometers, and the population is exploding. We're almost 20 million people. I mean, you can imagine that we need to regulate traffic flow. So this traffic law is essentially aimed at making sure that the system, our rules are not abused. I've been there. It's not a new law. The state government is just trying to bring it back to the fore to remind the people that we have a law that has been existing.
So when I said reviewed, yeah, that means I'm right, right?
We are not reviewing it. You have not reviewed it.
But it's been there, but these gentlemen have not been following the law. But you're making it bold now.
Yes, reminding the public, the people.
People will wonder, is it that when people die that we kind of think about these laws? Because is it because of the recent, the casualties we've recorded of recent? Is that why the Lagos State Assembly is coming forward?
Absolutely not. Okay. This law has been there, and we are not law enforcement agents. It's the police that enforces law. Okay. So it's not that, we are just reminding them, okay, that this law is here. Please do something about it.
Okay. And sir, you as representatives of these truck owners, did you know about this law? And why is it that you did not follow this law from the beginning? Because you were restricted. Your people are meant to move, you're not meant to move from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. So you're meant to move from like 9 p.m. till another 6 a.m. Why is it that your members did not follow this law?
Thank you, moderator. I'm aware the law has been in existence since 2012, as mentioned by Honorable. But during the period, we made our position known to the state government, the implications of the law. That law is going to have a serious not only economic effect, but as time of safety of lives and property. We let the authority, especially the government in power then, to understand that this law, it cannot work. It's not for the interest of the truck operators.
Why? Why did you say it cannot work?
Yes, in Lagos especially, though it may be applicable to other states, but I know of Lagos. There are so many reasons why the law cannot just be implemented. Number one, there are hijackers that are hijacking vehicles.
In Lagos Metropolis,
yes,
or
within Lagos Metropolis.
Or interstate?
Within Lagos Metropolis. These things are common around Apapa Oshodi Express Road, Oworo-Shoki Express Road, even around Oshodi, and so on and so forth.
When you mean like they hijack, they take the content and they take the vehicle itself?
Yes. Ordinarily, when you see a uniformed personnel, it could be police, it could be army uniform, flashing you down with their vehicle, slow you down, stop, stop, stop. Maybe the driver may be thinking maybe he has contravened any of the traffic law. What they will do, they will just use their vehicle to cross the vehicle. They come down, they will drag the driver down, push the driver in their vehicle, then somebody among them will now drive the vehicle off. As I speak, many of our members are in prison because of this.
Do you mean it's only during this ungodly hour in court that this happens? Can't it happen in the afternoon also? This hijacking?
What I'm saying, if it is happening in the afternoon, then it will now be restricted to only the night, which means they will have their day. It will be more rampant. That's what we're saying. And if such thing is happening, we cannot guarantee the safety of our drivers. And we cannot even guarantee the safety of the goods.
So what other reasons again?
Yeah, other reason is because where we are discharging all these goods, either warehouses or factories, they don't open in the night. They don't open. Then where do we park the vehicle if they are not opening? Do we leave them on the road? And there is no area, earmark or design that serve as truck terminal, so that if you are not expected to move in the day, so this is where you should go and park.
And leave for your destination
So when
later.
it's your time, you can from there move. And apart from that, before such a law can be put in place, I think there's supposed to be a kind of a ring road by which trucks will not be allowed to pass through the metropolis. So they will give them a special route. But there is no how such a law again will not affect the economy of our nation. Because the trucks you are seeing are the movers of the economy.
But let me ask a question, and I'll follow up with a follow-up question also. But do you think this law is in its own right, talking about the safety of the people? Do you think the Lagos State government is right about this law? Or is it just the carrying out of the law itself? Are they right?
If there are challenges.
No, are they right, sir? Is Lagos State right about it?
I cannot prove them wrong.
Okay.
But the law is coming at the wrong time.
At the wrong time. And again, have you met with the Lagos State House of Assembly? Have you told them of these challenges you've mentioned to me? You have 3 challenges now. Have you gone to the Lagos State House of Assembly? Have you spoken to them since 2012? Have you confronted them?
We are not just talking. We put it in writing, black and white, and forward to His Excellency. I have the copy of these correspondences.
Okay. Let me go to the Honorable. Okay. You heard him. Number 1, hijackers, the influx of hijackers. Number 2, nowhere marked by the state government or to park. That's talking about the trailer drivers that are not meant to be in town, maybe in the morning. And also the third one is which one is the third one again?
The economic implication.
Implication of that again. All these, don't you think they are right in their own corner?
You see, the essence of governance is to meet the need of the generality of the people, not the section of the people, or not the section of the society. A lot of issues, a lot of factors that were taken into consideration before that law was promulgated. And their interests, obviously, was taken into consideration, and every other interest in the society. And we have come to realize that the best way this thing can be handled in Lagos State for now is to regulate the flow or the movement of these vehicles. Don't forget, several years ago, we were having odd and even number in Lagos here. and that one was abolished. So the state governments, in her wisdom, decided that this is the only way, this is the best approach to get this thing done. So the issue is very clear. For instance, the one we just started at the beginning of this program, that these trucks, the drivers, the way they drive, they behave in a way that is not right.
They drive erratic. That's the way I said it before the beginning of the program. Yeah.
So, and the state government cannot just sit down and be looking. They must find a way to ensure that these things are corrected. And like he rightly said, obviously Lagos State is the nerve center of the Nigerian economy.
Of the nation.
But at the same time, we are constricted by the land space. And unfortunately for us, the federal government has not played their role since the state, I mean, the capital of Nigeria was moved to Abuja.
So you recognize the federal government has to even help out in all this?
Obviously.
Things. Because, yeah, I can now remember, because they are little out of the three, okay, maybe like one that the state government has to really focus on. Because you don't have a choice than to pass the law, but you cannot tell them, okay, the people that want to receive the goods, wait for them there. They have to find a way. Maybe the people have to open the shops or the warehouses by 5 a.m. That's with that. And but the only one I know you people have to talk to the government about is, he made mention of the fact that they don't even have designated places for them to park. You know, if you get what I mean, the government should provide somewhere. You know, they've been talking about is it Ogere? Ogere along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. We talk about the congestion of these trailers there. If you had this problem over there, wouldn't it be chaotic? And is it that the government has not really found somewhere for them to, like a trailer park?
That is not true. I mean, the government have been providing places for them, but because they just discovered that they love the way they have been traveling. You know, most times people resist change. Like somewhere in Edo or Akuka area, the state government provided a place for them, and they were trying to make it, but they didn't park there. They were just parking on the express, even on the bridges. I'm sure you know that we had cases of, you know, I mean, trucks on the bridges sometimes. So what I'm saying is that the government have been providing, even though we have not actually done enough, but we have been trying, but they would never use it.
Chief Ogungbemi, that goes to you. The government has been providing, and you people don't make use of these facilities.
It is very hard to believe that the Honorable is saying this, that they provide parking space. To me, it's not economic with the truth. If you can mention one that they provided, I would be glad.
He mentioned Ido.
Ido? Where at Ido? There's nothing as such. There's nothing as such. I'm saying it categorically.
Do you mean the Lagos State government has not?
Even the place we were using before, I am telling you, authoritatively, I've been to this story more than 40 years. The places we were using before, we were dislodged from the place.
Where was that?
We have them at Ijora, Olokpa, at Apapa, at so many other areas. You can remember. We said it. We said, why doing this? All what you are seeing, you know, about a decade ago, you cannot come to Apapa and find a single truck outside. But the government, in their wisdom, thought that the trucks are nuisance. Places we were using, they were chased away. Overnight, they will go there with towing vehicle and tow the vehicle out in hundreds. And the port has to operate. And the port cannot operate without these trucks. And no provision is made for where these trucks is parking. And this is one of the reasons why you see that most of our trucks are in a rickety and dilapidated conditions.
I'm talking about rickety, because that's part of the problem
it's part
we're
of the
facing
problem
here. Because most of these people argue that...
No, let me just finish that
Okay,
statement.
you want to finish that?
I want to finish that statement.
Because
You see,
really need to talk about that.
we have even discovered place and places which we wrote to the state government to give us a place. Then we were having correspondences. Even, I will say, we were given a kind of provisional approval. But at the time, government made a U-turn that they would no longer release the place, that the place is now to serve as a low-cost housing. We cannot fight government. Government is second to God. We are not confrontational. when they say we should leave, we have no choice, despite the millions of naira that we have committed.
Before we go further on that, because in my intro I read that you're backing on an indefinite strike. What does that entail? Indefinite to when? Indefinite means indefinite.
Well, it is not. It's only a mad person that will be bathing or swimming in a troubled water. As soon as the water settles, then we are ready to bath. So
you are telling me if the government does not back down, you're not going back to
let me just
Haulage.
Okay, imagine they started this discussion since on Monday, and since that very Monday they started arresting our members. Then what do? Do we just be watching? And
so you are not lifting now? Is that what you're saying?
We are not lifting
from the port.
How do we lift? They say we shouldn't move.
They say you should move at night.
It's not possible. We can't move at night. Okay, can they guarantee, give us each trucks, assign each truck with a soldier with a gun?
Have you applied for that? They didn't give you.
Do I need to apply? I don't need to apply. We are running the economy, not only for ourselves, especially for the nation. But without the trucks, the economy of the nation cannot move. But it's unfortunate that the sector of the economy have been neglected.
Honorable, without the trucks, really, because they like the nerve of this economy. Correct. Without the trucks, really, we're going to feel maybe like a problem with the blood circulation of the economy. So what is the way forward now? Because you cannot just leave them, okay, don't worry, they have go on their strike. It's going to affect the people. What do you think? What's the way forward now? Immediate way forward.
They must conform with the regulation, with the law of the state. The problem is not the Lagos State government. The federal government owns the port, and they make a lot of money from there. And the federal government is not plowing back even just a small portion of what they're making from Lagos State.
Yes.
I mean, he mentioned Ring Road. Ring Road, I mean, several years ago, the federal government was conceiving the idea of having that, but they get seen it. What we are saying is that the Lagos State government alone cannot handle this thing because the resources are not just available.
Let me quickly ask him, have you cried to the federal government? Have you?
We did a lot. I want to also agree with what the Honorable have just said. I will agree with that the port belongs to federal government.
Yes.
And federal government have not been doing anything. And for your information, the people that build the port, they know that it is not Okada that are coming to lift the goods that are coming in and out of the port. There are places designed by the port planners. But for now, all those places have been taken away for other business activities, especially during the concessioning arrangement. And the fact remains that the port cannot operate without these trucks. Then where will trucks be coming from? There must be a place where this truck will be coming from. Even what they can rake within, what the command of a custom can rake in a month is enough to address of this problem.
That's if trucks are parked there and they take money off the trucks. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that governments, federal government especially, supposed to come and do something. It is not the state.
Honorable, have you in any way, maybe your colleagues or the House itself have talked to maybe the House of Assembly or the Senate so as to look for a way forward into all this mess that we found ourselves?
I mean, at the risk of sounding repetitive, I want to state that Nigerian Port Authority, owned by the federal government, are supposed to play a major role in this area. These trucks are the one lifting, goods from your port, and there is no provision for them to park.
That's true.
And even those areas that were provided, they have given them to concessionaire without taking into consideration the parking of this place. So, and the Lagos State government cannot just sit down and be looking, because it's affecting our own people too. So we have no choice. The state government had no choice but to enact the law that will regulate the flow. So what we are saying is that the Nigerian Port Authority should do something, even though I don't know whether to say whether it's belated, but they have to do something about this.
But now, if they don't do something, what happens now? And the gentlemen are not going to be budging. What's going to happen to the economy?
They have to budge, because we're talking of the hub of Nigerian economy. We cannot run away from the fact that Lagos State plays a major role in economic activities in Nigeria. And we are having problems, challenges. If those vehicles are not moving, the government of Lagos cannot wait here and just allow people to be killed on the road just like that. So it is the federal government are supposed to do their job, they have not been doing it. So they do something quickly to alleviate these challenges we are having.
When two elephants fight, they say the grass suffer. Because you know the people of Lagos are the ones suffering now. When you talk about the economy, maybe Nigerians or the people of Lagos will suffer. And when you talk about people dying, you remember the last time a container fell and crushed 2 cars. You know, just imagine the kind of death that would be. Someone that's thinking about tomorrow, thinking about an anniversary, thinking about something, thinking about that just went to the market to think about cooking at home, just died like that. It's a very, very horrible one. We shouldn't talk about it anymore. But are you guys not concerned? Are you not bothered? Are you not pained?
We are very, very much concerned. We are very much concerned. But restriction of trucks, I didn't see it as a solution.
What's the solution?
Because aircraft, sometimes it crash and kill 100 people, burn houses.
But that's
do we restrict aircraft from flying within Lagos?
But not all aircraft. Any aircraft that crashes has a peculiar situation with that aircraft. That is something, you know, when we talk about airplanes, they are regulated. But when we talk about trailers, I've seen trailers on Lagos roads.
Yes.
The condition of the trailer is even finished, but the attitude of the driver alone is horrible. So it makes it 2 in 1. Like the body gets accident. You know, that kind of situation.
Well, I want you to know that any mechanism, no amount of maintenance can totally shield away breaking down of any mechanism. Do you agree with me? Even human being, there is no matter how often you visit hospital that you will not fall sick. Do you agree? And apart from that, I also want you to know that the incident concerns us as much. It's a loss.
I know, but let me add this again.
Okay.
Because it's of the opinion of many people.
Yeah.
If you get to people are going to call on this show now.
Yes. Yeah.
It's of the opinion of many people that truck drivers don't respect other drivers, the rights of other drivers on the road. It is a very, very popular opinion. So that is why it is easier for them to drive when others are not driving. Or what do you think?
Do I tell you? Lagos, people migrated into Lagos not just on daily basis, on hourly basis. Lagos road can no longer accommodate the activities that we are giving to the road. You can see a road that's supposed not to accommodate more than 20,000 trucks or vehicles. You see about 250,000.
But you know the Lagos roads are even bigger than some roads in UK. Some roads in UK, you imagine how trucks pass some roads in UK. And I tell you, if you pass that road and if you break a barrier, you are going to pay through your nose. So I think it's because there's no penalty. That is why some drivers drive that way. Or is it because the roads are not big enough?
Are you telling me that the road in Lagos is enough to accommodate the volume of vehicle, the number of vehicles that are plying the road? Where you see trailer, tankers, cars, Okada, and so many other things moving on the same road at the same time. Tell me, there are bound to be commotion and collision. For example, if somebody has a building with just about 40 rooms, and people occupy all the rooms, then will you now depend on making law? And all the rooms, about 40 rooms, have just only one toilet. Tell me, can there be orderliness? Can there be sanity? Can there be cleanliness of the environment within that house? No. Relying in making law. And again, about 45 years ago, I was a bachelor, living in a bachelor room. Now that I've married with children, do you think that bachelor room will still accommodate me till now that I've married? We need to expand. Instead of embarking on law, we should do something like that, like expansion that will correspond with the vehicular increase and population increase.
I think that question is for the Honorable, because I was going to ask you the second question. How are you going to change that perception? You know that perception I talked about, that people are very, very scared of trailer drivers or your mates because of the way or because of the size of the vehicle they have and the way they drive. How are you going to change that perception?
That is just an imagination. Ordinarily, when you see somebody that is bigger than you, you should get scared. People are just being scared because of the noise all about, this container has come. Our road is not suitable for the type of activities that we are giving to the road. And by now, we're supposed to have our rail it is not the best
to haul.
Why rely only on truck?
That's another thing, really.
Truck supposed to be complementing the effort of rail.
And when we talk about rail is much of a federal. But let's quickly talk about the roads you have in Lagos. He's saying that the roads are now getting smaller, and the state of the road sometimes, because nowadays we want to deny the fact that we see some potholes where they are not meant to be potholes on Lagos roads. And some of these trucks want to veer off to avoid these potholes. That is why all these calamities happen. And even some smaller vehicles want to veer off to avoid the potholes. That is why they enter these calamities. So what is it that your government, the Lagos State government, is doing about all these he has mentioned?
The Lagos State government is doing a lot. I can attest to that. You see, most of these roads, like I said earlier, the moment the federal capital moved from Lagos, the federal government abandoned all their infrastructures, especially the roads, to the extent that Lagos State government started maintaining federal roads, and without getting compensation from the federal government. And when they even put up, requests for those commissions, they are delayed or they are not even paid at all. So the state government is now maintaining federal roads. Federal government abandoned all the roads, federal roads in Lagos State. Like this road, this accident that happened, that road, was controlled by the federal government. So maintenance of roads in Lagos is done by only Lagos State government. Despite the fact that we have our own challenges in terms of finance, we still have to plow, the resources of the state to maintain federal roads. So for instance, look at apart from this port we are talking about, look at Semeboda. A large chunk of the custom revenue is generated from Semeboda.
Yes.
And nothing is plowed back to that area. No infrastructure by the federal government. All they just go there to make the money, and they take them away to Abuja. But what we are seeing is that the status the federal government has given to Abuja, we should also give the same to Lagos State, because Lagos State is contributing immensely to
So what you two gentlemen are saying, the federal government is found culpable in all of this. But we need to go on a very short break. When we come back, we include your calls and continue for where we stopped. Do stay with us, please.